Time to get caught up with Joe Convertino Jr. from CH Insurance. It is our Cup of Joe. And Joe, welcome. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Gomez and Lisa. That coffee went down pretty good this week, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Hot cocoa, coffee, multiple warmers. It was one of those weeks.
Well, I say this all the time, just this time of the year, even though it's fun, watching basketball and hockey or whatever, but just in general, there's about 6 weeks right after New Year's where it just drags.
Yeah.
It's like, Cole, it is what it is, but we're kind of like in that part of the calendar right now.
You had a lot of saluted shots this week to keep warm. I know you guys.
Yeah, we
you
did.
probably doubled down this week.
I have a quick question for Joe, real quick. So if I'm going ice fishing, hypothetically speaking, of course, right? And I drive my F-150 out on the ice and park it there and pitch a tent and do all the things, and I'm ice fishing, and before I know it, everything is at the bottom of Oneida Lake. Is that like an insurance claim? Can I get my truck back, or do I suffer because I'm an idiot?
No, that would be, first of all, people are doing that with snowmobiles, four-wheelers. Those are insurance, obviously insured. So, water, water, that type of expense would be part of your comprehensive deductible. So, yeah, that would be a claim. That would be a claim.
If you have comprehensive, if you have all the things, yeah.
Yes, got to have comprehensive. That's not liability because we drove it out and maybe you didn't see somebody and, God forbid, you hit a person. That's liability. But if the ice caved in and, obviously it is what it is, it was a warming trend and you didn't know, and more or less we see snowmobilers, four-wheelers, things of that nature. But I've seen a lot of that stuff on social media, TikTok. Boy, that ice is pretty thick up the North Country.
Yeah, it is.
But you got to be careful. But I tell you, I wouldn't be out there. They're even starting bonfires on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah. But comprehensive is the coverage you need, because you don't, like, if you have the cheap policy, you just get, you don't want the one that just covers if you hit, liability, right?
Right,
The basic.
liability. You need to have physical damage, which you would on a pickup truck, lease. You would have that, unless it's a beat up, 1994 truck, and then there wouldn't be coverage.
Gotcha.
So, know your surroundings with that standpoint.
Just in general, Joe, and I know there was a report earlier this week or last week online. It was a national survey, I guess, but it had to do with car insurance rates. And lo and behold, the Salt City right up there in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever that number was. But so is it any ways that we can cut corners a little bit here on that?
Yeah, what a timely article for everything. But Syracuse, I think it was published, but Syracuse.com picked it up. I think we're fourth in the country with rates of auto insurance, and they just keep creeping up, guys. And it's still, not just the inflation piece, the supply chain. I'm sick of talking about that, but it's we're just seeing a lot of accidents. We're seeing, years ago when we used to talk, fraud used to be a big thing, downstate, right? Fraud, and you got to keep up with that. It's really not that anymore. It's distracted driving. It's accidents. It's hitting animals, deer, things of that nature. But what you can do, what our listeners can do, is you got to look at possibly taking a defensive driving class online. Okay, that'll save you 6 to 8%. We talked about physical damage in deductibles. Okay, a lot of people have $500 deductibles. We're seeing deductibles increase. Similar to your home, right? I mean, we have to be vigilant. Unfortunately, you have car insurance, God forbid something happens. But the littler claims, guys, like you're in Wegmans and a cart might hit the car, and there's a little scratch. Well, now you got to say, do I really put that into my insurance? right? Is it worth it? $1,200 less $500, I'm getting a check for $700. Or do I go to a Mr. Fix-It guy and, pay him or her cash and have it resolved? So you've got to be smart about the type of claims we're putting in. And that's what we're seeing a lot of our clients calling. What is this going to do to my renewal? Well, we're not magicians, but we're starting to see a lot of this. Obviously, they're checking credit, Lisa and Gomez. So, credit is important. If you have great credit, talk to your agent. Maybe the carrier, I assume they're running the credit check, but there's some savings on there. So, hunker down, work with an independent agent. Ask the questions. You need to ask these questions to your agent, and hopefully they guide you through that process. We talk about it all the time. Be with an independent agent. Don't be with an 800 number, because the 800 number and online, they don't care. They don't care about you. So we'll help, though. And there's a lot of good things coming, across the horizon. But defensive driving, check deductibles, run your credit, and be smart in what type of situation or claims you want to put in.
So, Joe Convertino Jr. from CH Insurance for our Cup of Joe. And, Joe, I know at some point, we're seeing, do you watch that pro golf thing that's been on
we should.
the TGL?
Yeah, I've been watching, 2, 3, 4 holes when it's on. Pretty interesting, Gomez, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no wind. There's no external factors. I mean, you would probably we would win a tournament with that. You and me and Perry Noun and our crew. It is pretty interesting, though. They're trying to get a good fan experience, and obviously it's made for TV. Right, from what they're trying to do, and it looks great how the green moves up and down and moves within the undulation of how they can fix it with what's under there. Real sand, real chipping, other than the driver. Right, pretty cool.
Last but not least, are you going to be at the Dome tomorrow for SU and Pittsburgh?
SU Pitt, 12:30. We need a W. We need a W. Do you and Lisa have any eligibility left?
Gomez might.
I might actually have a. What are you? They need somebody big down low to push some bodies out of the way.
Yeah, we'll put you as a power forward.
Yeah, just trip some guys. That's what I'd be good for, like foul shots, because I can get fouled pretty easily.
There you go, Lise.
I think I can make a few.
It's a skill.
I mean, I think I can make one out of. I really think I can do it.
Right. We just want to keep pulling for the orange. These teams just feel. I don't know. There's, just more ball movement. We just got to keep plugging and, making it happen and turn this thing around. I heard you probably heard this last year, the NC State run, remember, in the tournament in the ACC. So we just got to keep fighting, plugging, get a W. The goal is to really take game by game, but really set our sights on that ACC tournament, which, believe it or not, it's probably, a month and a half away.
Yeah, it's like March 6th or 7th or something like that.
And anything can happen, guys.
True. Joe, thanks. As always, stay well. We'll chat soon.
You got it. Have a great weekend. Go Orange.